Oh, yes. All right, we are live on YouTube. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. If you are here live, my sincerest apologies for the little bit of a late start. It's been one of those days today. If you saw my stream earlier on Coach Eli, 2 Uncensored live streams, I mentioned this at the beginning of that show. But in case you missed it, well, go back and check out the replay. But in case you missed it, I mentioned that I went and got an oil change and tire rotation today, and it took a little bit longer than expected. I had an early appointment and everything was fine, but it just took a little bit longer than expected. It's a little windy here today, pardon that. But still got everything done, just a little bit behind, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens. And when you're an entrepreneur, it's going to happen, and it's somewhat okay. You still want to try to be as on time as possible when doing live streams and stuff like that, but things come up. Now, if you have appointments with clients and you're interviewing people, you got to be on time. But when you're doing your own thing and you try to do as much as I do each and every day, you try to maximize your day, sometimes this just happens, and all you can do is apologize to your audience and try to do better the next time. And keep your chin up, keep a great attitude, and just keep pushing forward, Hope you're all having a really good day. It is windy, so I'm hoping this doesn't affect my sound quality. But if you take a look at the water over here, you can tell when the water is moving that fast, when there are waves in the water. When it's typically calm, it's a windy day. 67 degrees here today at the trail. So a little bit cooler than it has been, but not too bad. Not cool enough to put on a jacket. I have a very important topic to discuss today. And a very important topic to discuss today. And it's going to make a lot of sense. And I really haven't seen anyone talk about this like I have, or like I'm going to be. And I have actually in person with my lady, my family, and other friends outside of YouTube. There's a dude that's fishing off the deck here. Give me a second. Wow, look at how windy it is. It's very, very windy here today. So you may be quite surprised regarding what I say here today regarding gas prices, current gas prices, and inflation. And I will share with you folks how it has affected me, or how I thought it was going to affect me actually, and how it's actually either affected me or not affected me. Because during these times where certain events will drive up the cost of certain commodities we've been used to, such as gas. Gas for cars, natural gas to heat our homes. The cost of power has gone up. A lot of things have gone up. Inflation has created that, primarily because of what's still going on in the Ukraine. This is ridiculous. I really wish Biden would send in some troops from the U.S. and just end this thing once and for all. But he doesn't want to get involved at that level, and who knows, that could cause a world war. That could create issues amongst our allies. There's a reason why he's not doing it. He's probably thought of it, but his advisors have probably, gone against it. So all of these aspects that are happening right now in 2022 are affecting our cost of living more than ever before. But is it really affecting us as much as people are saying it's affecting us or them? Or are people just whining and complaining? Or are people just upset that they have to cut out some of their extracurricular activities? Or some people call these things vices, right? Smoking, alcohol, going out to nice fancy dinners. Because when I break it down for you here today, and you hear my take on this, it might open up your eyes. Here in the San Francisco Bay Area, I'm not seeing any changes at all. People are still going out to dinner. People are still driving everywhere. People are still living their lives like nothing's happened. And why is that? Well, if you live out here, obviously you realize it's one of the most expensive places to live on the planet. And give me just a second. Let me reset the chat one more time, folks. I'll be right back. Actually, no, we're good. No, let me reset one more time. I'll be right back. So living in the San Francisco Bay Area, I know the cost of living here, and I also know that the median wage is higher than pretty much anywhere else in the U.S. for the most part. And a lot of people out here are very educated. They have degrees, or they're in the high-tech industry, and they're making very, very good money. They've had, great stock options and other financial monetary benefits through their employment. So a lot of these people are making far more money than their expenses, than their mortgages, their utility bills, their car bills, insurance for home and cars, etc. And what happens? You reinvest some of that money, some of it maybe you put in a savings account. You have money for a rainy day. So when it starts to rain, like it's been raining with these prices, for gas and other essentials that are affected because of transportation fees, which leads back to gas and diesel and trucks, having to haul that stuff, right? And yeah, the cost of diesel is at like an all-time high, higher than even regular gas prices, because I believe diesel is a mixture of gas and oil. So it's very expensive to create diesel. I believe it uses like more oil. It uses actual oil in the mixture. So here in the Bay Area where I live, it really hasn't affected us. It hasn't affected us. Give me a second, folks. It's getting a little bit windy here. Now, you might say, okay, Eli, some people are not as fortunate to have jobs that pay what many of the jobs pay out in the Bay Area. Some people, are living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe in other parts of the country, right? Or in other parts of the world. And I can understand that. I will tell you who I think is being affected the most by high gas prices and inflation. I feel the lower class people are affected by it. But are they really affected by it? Because the lower class people, no disrespect, number one, they've always had opportunities to get better jobs, go back to school, get training in a trade and get a better job, right? But even if it doesn't happen, lower class people, especially people that are near poverty status or at poverty status, get the best freebies and benefits from the government, right? So, to be honest, as hard as it may be for the lower class people or people that are living paycheck to paycheck, are they really struggling? I would say not. I'm not saying people aren't struggling at all, but the bottom line is I think people are making way more of a big deal regarding gas prices and inflation than they should. Plus, what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is, right? But let's break it down further, right? Now, the gas prices in California fluctuate greatly from northern to southern California, central California, right? Typically, gas prices in Southern California are a bit more expensive than Northern California. In California, we have a special summertime blend to control smog and emissions as best as possible. And I think Southern California has an even, stronger version of that special blend that costs more to make than the one we use here in Northern California, because they have more of a smog issue in Southern California. They have way more cars and way more people. It's very, very densely populated. So, let's take gas prices, from where they're at today here in the Bay Area, on average. And I'm going to go with the cheapest gas stations I can find, okay? So recently the cheapest gas I could find was at a Costco in South San Francisco. Regular unleaded was $5.85 a gallon, and super unleaded, which is 91 octane here, it's no longer 92. They reduced an octane number while back, like over a decade or so ago, was $6.15 a gallon, right? So let's just go with the super unleaded, okay? Let's take $6.15 per gallon. How much more per gallon is that than the highest level that gas reached here in California, in the Bay Area, in the past? Gas here in the San Francisco Bay Area has been hovering at around $4 to $5 a gallon for, I'd say, the last 5 to maybe 10 years. So, we're already used to paying more for gas, right? If we take $5 a gallon, right? If we take $5 a gallon and then take $6.15, right? That's $1.15 more that we're paying for gas during this crazy time of gas being at an all-time high nationwide. But I'm going to further the difference because those are the cheapest stations. If we go across the average, on average, we're paying about $1.50 more per gallon than we were paying during the times over the last 5 to 10 years where gas was around $5 a gallon here in California. Typically in the summer, it would get to $5 a gallon. Now, I have a 15-gallon tank. So if we take 15 gallons and multiply that by $1.50, what is that? $22.50, right? That's $22.50, right? If I'm doing the math correctly. I'm going to reset the chat, folks. I'll be right back. All right, we're back live. So 15 gallons at $1 would be $15 times 1.5 for $1.50 is what? $22.50, right? But let's further that number just for example purposes so I prove my point here, okay? Let's double that because there are times where gas has been around $4 a gallon. Or even maybe $3.50 a gallon, $3.49, right? So let's double that $22.50, and that brings us to $45, right? So let's say gas right now on average for a 15-gallon, tank, which is the average passenger car that most people have, and maybe a little less, a little more for you. If you have a truck, it's going to be more obviously, but I'm just taking the average economy car. I've got a 2017 Honda Accord. It gets 35 miles per gallon on the average, and it has a 15-gallon tank, right? So it's costing me $45 per tank more than it has in the past on average because of the gas prices right now based on what's happening in the Ukraine, etc., right? I fill up typically about once per week, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a 5th tank of gas per month instead of just 4 because, I go cruising around with my lady and stuff, right? So let's take 45 and multiply it by 5. And I believe that's 225 if I'm doing that correctly. Let's see, if it's 45 times 4 is 2,200. And 5 times 5 is 25. So that's what, $225, right? I believe I'm multiplying that correctly. If I'm a little off, forgive me, I'm on mobile. Can't use my calculator app right now. Well, I could, but I have to temporarily shut down the stream. So I'm spending an extra $225 per month on gas than I was on average in the past before gas prices spiked due to all this stuff that's happening to cause the spike, primarily the war in Ukraine, right? So is that really, really hurting people? Is it really hurting us when you break it down this way, right? What costs me $225? Well, let's look back. A few months back, I took my lady to one of the most expensive dinners at a 5-star steakhouse ever, and it cost me about $200. So what is the difference in gas that we're paying? One, expensive, very nice 5-star dinner, right? But let's say you don't do that. How many of you smoke out there? A pack of cigarettes now is about $10 a pack, right? The average person that smokes 1 pack a day. For 30 days, 30 times 10, that's $300. Wow, that's $75 more than the increased cost of gas per month for filling up your car, 5 times with an economy average car like mine with a 15-gallon tank, right? What else? Some people like to drink. Some people like to drink daily. Let's just take beer, which is cheaper than the hard stuff, right? For example purposes, if you drink, 1 beer a day, and that beer costs you $3, right? That's $90 per month. But people that drink regularly spend way more than that. They'll spend $200 to $300 a month on alcohol. Now, people that do that are either borderline alcoholics or alcoholics, but I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. People have their vices, okay? And let's not forget what's been legalized in many states here in the U.S. a while back. So some states that allow this to be legal can collect tax dollars. Marijuana, ganja, weed was legalized, right? And many people can't live without their weed, right? Some for medicinal purposes, I get that, but some or most do it for recreational purposes, right? And what's the average cost of marijuana for an ounce? It's 80 to $100. Let's just round it up to $100 just to be even there, right? How long does an ounce last you? I don't do it, but my lady does and I have other friends that do it. It typically will last you 5 to 7 days. Let's just be fair and say it lasts 7 days, right? So every 28 days, you're spending about $400, maybe $300 to $400 a month on marijuana. There's the $225 difference in your gas. So here's the thing that I want to ask each and every one of you. I'm not telling you to change your ways, right? I get it. We all have our bad habits and our vices and all that, right? But let me ask you this question. Why are you complaining about high gas prices? Right? Why are you complaining about higher grocery prices based on those high gas prices, right? And why are you not complaining about the cost of cigarettes being $10 a pack? The cost of alcohol, whatever it may be. The cost of weed, $80 to $100 an ounce. Why are we not complaining about those things when those things, for most people, are really not an essential or a necessity, but your car is? Right? Why are we prioritizing our vices over our transportation, which is extremely important to get to and from work, or to be able to go to the supermarket and get some groceries, or to have a nice relaxing recreation day after a long week at work, right? We're all set in our ways, folks. We are all set in our ways, and we all like to complain over stupid shit. Gosh, it is really, really windy today. It is super, super windy. Back live. So yeah, we complain about the dumbest stuff, right? We complain about our essentials going up in price, but our non-essentials, we don't complain that they keep going up in price or they cost us a lot, and we keep using those non-essentials, right? This is what people don't realize. Now, I'm a little guilty of some of those things as well myself. You know, I like to spend money on going to nice dinners and stuff. Nice dinners is the one thing that, I could be cutting out. And my lady and I have cut back on the nice dinners since gas prices went up. We still go out to dinner, but we go to different places that are, cost a little less and still have decent food. It may not be like a 5-star or 4-star environment or like a steakhouse, but they still have good food, right? And instead of spending $120 for, a meal, we're spending maybe $60, $65 for a meal, maybe $70. And it does add up. Because if you go out to dinner, let's say 7-8 times a month with your lady, right? And let's say 8 times. And you're saving, let's say $50 compared to what you normally spend going out to dinner, you're now saving $400. The additional increase in gas, $225. So you're way ahead, right? So the economy kind of shifting the other way right now, basically creating inflation to be an all-time high and gas prices at an all-time high. Is it really affecting us? No. Because all you have to do is prioritize your essentials from your non-essentials. Now, you can still have some non-essentials, but you can reevaluate what they cost and try to find cheaper alternatives, right? Or maybe stay at home and cook dinner, twice as often as you normally do, right? There are ways to offset this cost if you really dig deep and look into it. But most of us would just rather complain that things are getting expensive, right? Most of us would rather complain about every little thing that doesn't go our way instead of finding a solution for it. And there's always a solution. You just have to be open to seeking the solution, finding it, and applying it, right? I'm going to pull off to the I can't even talk. I'm going to pull off to the side. Somebody's coming. I'm going to let them pass me. Give me a second here. I'm trying to keep my wire from falling off. I don't think I secured it as best as possible. It's a little bit windy, so I'm trying to fix that here for a second. Yes, a bit more water today. This all comes from the bay. This is like the spillover, the wetlands. Folks, life is about choices. Life is about choices. You get to choose how to live your life, how you spend your money, who you spend your time with, who you date, who you marry, right? What kind of food you eat, how often you work out, how often you drive, right? I mean, life is about choices. And every choice we make is going to affect us and possibly affect others in many different ways. So if we think about every single choice that we make each and every day before we make our choices, and we think about how it affects us and it affects others, we might be prone to make better choices, right? So if you look at life as being a bunch of choices that we make, you can survive through any economy because there's always wiggle room. Now, there are some rare cases where, people are living in certain apartments or homes and they're renting those places, and then a rent increase happens and then it's out of your budget. I can understand that, right? But besides rent, one of the few things that are out of your control is rent, because your landlord can increase rent at any time after the lease agreement ends, right? Everything else is within your control. If you buy a car and you lease it or finance it, you know what your payments are going to be and the cost of the car is and what your payments are going to be, and that never changes, right? Now, as far as utilities go, gas, electric, you pretty much know what that's going to cost based on how much of it you use. How do you lower your bill? Well, you don't leave lights on in every room, every evening for 5 or 6 hours if you're not actually using the lights in that area. And what else can you do? You can light a few candles. You can turn on your TV. That omits enough light. And you can save electricity. If you're not using your computer, laptop or desktop, unless you're running a server, which most people aren't, shut down your computer so it's not using any power, right? If you're not charging your smartphone, unplug it from the socket, right? There are so many things we can do to cut back and save money and offset these trying times and get through these trying times, right? And it's quite easy, right? Some people may say, Eli, this is easier said than done. No, it's not, because I'm living it. And people here in the Bay Area are living it. And most people in this country are living it, right? Right? And it's funny to me. The people that I have seen complain about this, it's funny. It's the same people that complain about everything in this country. It's the right-wing extremists, right? It's the people from the Midwest and the South. People that, are the supremacists. Pardon my French, right? The Trump supporters, the people that just aren't happy with the way the world has become, the way the world's advancing, or like they call it, progressing, right? These are the anti-progressive people. They don't like anything changing or getting better, right? So these are the people that are complaining. And the reason why it seems like more people are complaining than there aren't is because these people have the biggest mouths. Even though, this is only about 25% of the population. But these 25%, they got nothing better to do than whine and complain and bitch all day on the internet, right? But is anyone else really complaining? My neighbors, they aren't complaining. I walk into the supermarkets, no one's complaining. I go to dinners, no one's complaining, people still eating like nothing happened, right? Why? Because most people most reasonable, decent people prepare for these situations. And also understand that, hey, shit happens. It is what it is. Life's not fair. We've hit road bumps before. We've hit roller coasters before. And this is just another one of those roller coasters. We will make it through, right? But here's another thing I want to, mention. Think about it. If we get used to dealing with price regarding gas and other essentials like food, the prices where they're at right now, $6+ a gallon for gas, and the national average is over $5. But if we get used to, it's all good. That dude just rode by me quick on his mountain bike. If we get used to these gas prices and inflation regarding all other aspects that have gone up in price, primarily groceries and stuff like that, right? What's going to happen when the prices go back down? And if you don't think the prices are going to go back down, they will. Gas will go back down. By the end of the year or early next year, gas will probably go at an all-time low. All right, we're back live. Like I was saying before I got cut off. What typically happens after gas prices hit an all-time high? I was saying they hit an all-time low, but that's not the truth because they'll never get down to 25 cents a gallon or 99 cents a gallon again. But they hit an all-time like 10-year low, right? Or 5 or 10-year low, right? That's what's going to happen, right? So what I suggest to you folks out there, this is what I do. Look at these trying times of inflation and gas prices as a way to better start budgeting yourself and cutting certain things out, or going to maybe 3-star restaurants instead of 5-star restaurants or 4-star restaurants, right? If you get yourself used to that now, while the prices are sky high on everything, you're going to maintain that when the prices start going down. And what will happen then? You'll be able to start saving some money and then maybe reinvesting that money somewhere else, like stocks and maybe some crypto or whatever, however you want to invest your money, right? Think about it, right? I haven't heard one person talk about what's happening right now with gas prices and inflation besides myself. People are just complaining about it. Give me a second here, folks. Give me a second here, folks. Okay. I'm just waiting for some people to pass on by. And it's still pretty windy. So start getting used to budgeting your money better now. Use these trying times to pull through. Now, you're not going to probably be able to save a lot of money if you're on a tight budget during these trying times, but you can make it through by cutting out unnecessary things, right? By cutting out non-essentials, right? So that way your essentials, such as fuel for your car, and food for your household and your stomach, right, can be afforded, right? I'm going to have to stop by and use the restroom somewhere. Somebody's up at the observation deck, so I'm going to just turn around and start heading back. I think one of the reasons why there's so much more of a struggle nowadays to understand the things I talk about, I hate to say it once again, it all boils down to the way our modern men are. Modern men, millennials and younger, 40 and under. Modern men 40 and under, I hate to say this, are the least educated men in the history of our planet, globally. A lot of these modern men are lost. Not all of them. There are some millennials and post-millennials that fortunately have a good upbringing and are good with money and are good at budgeting themselves, right? And are good at doing what I mentioned I'm doing here to get through these trying times, right? But the majority of modern men under 40 don't even do laundry once a week. Don't even shower every day, let alone every other day, right? So there's a lot of irresponsibility, right? And it's because of the way these guys were raised. They were coddled, right? Or they came from a broken household and they never learned responsibility. They never learned how to budget their money, how to stretch their money, how to invest their money, right? They never learned how to do all the things that men have always done in the past. How do you think men survived back in the days of traditionalism and before that, right? Men were smart, educated, stronger. They got shit done. And they weren't lazy, right? And they weren't dependent on someone else to take care of them for survival, even in their 30s and 40s, like a lot of these men are nowadays, right? So that's why in this modern world, I feel you're seeing more and more people just whining and complaining over the dumbest things, right? Yeah, so what? Gas prices have gone up. Food has gone up, right? Everything has gone up a bit. But how much has it gone up? Maybe what, 9%, 10%, right? And here's the thing. If you're on a fixed income, now I can understand if you're disabled, you're on a fixed income, but even if you are, I'm sure that your state or province has some food stamp program or something to assist you during these times. So it's probably not even going to affect you, right? But let's say you're someone that's been making the same income for the last 5 or 10 years. And you're not disabled, you're fully able to do any type of job. If you've been making the same income for the last 5 to 10 years and you haven't strived to double or triple your income or get a better job, and now you're complaining because the cost has gone up beyond your means, that's on you. That's on you because you never strived to become better. You never thought ahead for a rainy day. That's the problem nowadays. People don't think ahead for a rainy day, right? I always think ahead for a rainy day. I thought ahead before I sold my insurance business a few years ago for a rainy day and to be able to get this business off the ground. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Got somebody coming. I got to use the restroom and somebody's coming. And they're going to take a while to get here. So I'm going to start walking this way so they can catch up to me quick so I can just use the restroom when they pass on by. I'll be going off the air in just a second. I'm just going to perch right here for a second. Got 8 people here, 4 thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. please smash the thumbs up. Please share this out. If you have a community tab, channels over 500 subscribers have a community tab. Please share this out if you can. Please also share it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, to name a few. Reddit's a great place to share things, or anywhere else where you know of people that would get tremendous value from my content. I want to help as many people as possible that are open to the help. And please also subscribe to this channel if you already haven't done so. And also go to my other channel, Coach Eli, 2 Uncensored Live Streams, and subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications there as well. Nightbot sharing the link to Coach Eli, 2 Uncensored Live Streams every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. All right, we're back. We are back live. Give me just a second here, folks. All right, I'm going to go off the air for a few minutes, and when I get back, we'll continue. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Do not go in. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Traffic is moving very smoothly on the 101. They've been doing a lot of improvements here in the San Francisco Bay Area. They've been adding, we call them fast track lanes. They're called express lanes, but they're fast track lanes where you use our electronic toll pass, which is what I'm trying to say, to be able to bypass traffic when it gets pretty busy, but it hits pretty costly. When the more traffic there is, to go 4 or 5 exits, it can cost you up to $10. I'm like, shit. I'll sit around in traffic for a little bit, even with higher gas prices, because idling doesn't really use a whole lot of gas. Idling is going to use maybe 1 or 2 tenths of a gallon, right? So basically, 10% of $6 on average is 60 cents. 20%, $1.20. So basically, idling is going to cost you $1.20 to bypass the traffic. It's going to cost you $10 in the fast track lane. That's the way I look at things, folks. Yeah, sure. If you absolutely have to get somewhere, I can understand people using it, as long as where you're going is going to make up for that money you're paying to use the express lane, such as if you have a job to do or something like that. That's a different story, right? You have to look at cost versus benefit factors. And I'll probably start doing some streams regarding that, cost benefit factors. And I'll tell you this, if I were to analyze most people's financial situations, most people are spending money foolishly. Most people that even have a good amount of money won't even invest it. They'll keep it in the savings account, which will hardly get you any interest, right? Right? They're too afraid to reinvest that money to make them money, right? And people are saying right now the market's volatile, right? It's not a good time to invest. And this is the best fucking time to invest because things are going down. So if things are going down, right, you buy when you think it's going to hit the low, And even if you buy a week or two before it hits the lowest of the low, you'll still recover your money because it's going to go back up eventually by next year. I'm telling you folks, by next year, that stock market will go back up. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is my guess. These are just my opinions. This is not advice. These are just my opinions, okay? What you do with your money is on you. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of people, even people that have money, that are too afraid to reinvest it. And if they had reinvested that money 10, 15, 20 years ago, they would have made 10 times over. Not just quadruple your money, 10 times. You would have 10x'd your money. Think about if you would have invested 100 grand, it would have made you over $1 million or more. Why wouldn't you want to do that, right? People spend money so foolishly, or they have idle money just sitting doing nothing, right? When your money sits and does nothing, if it's in the checking account or savings account, the bank uses your money. And it's hardly paying you shit for it, right? And most banks nowadays, even credit unions, don't pay you crap for savings accounts. And if they do, they make you keep a minimum amount of money in there for a certain amount of time, or you get penalized. There are better things you can do with your money. There are better ways to budget your money and to invest your money. What else did I want to mention here? And I have a whole lot more to say. I think I'm going to wrap up the stream and listen to the replay on the way back. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please get them in the chat right now. I'm going to be going off the air in just a few minutes. Let me reset the chat and I'll be right back. All right, I don't think we have any new messages here. All right, folks, if I have my days straight, I believe tomorrow is Friday. And I'm going to be heading out of town for a few days with my lady. We're going to get away. I budgeted this trip. And we're going to go do some hiking and exploring. And go to some pretty cool restaurants that are affordable but still cool. Just take a nice drive and get away from it all. Tomorrow I might either do a Walking with Purpose stream. Those are birds. I saw some animal on the trail up there. Those are birds. So I might do a Walking with Purpose stream tomorrow, or an in-studio stream from Coach Eli too, or maybe both. My lady isn't gonna meet with me until later on in the evening, and then we're gonna head out of town. So keep an eye out on that. Birdies. They're just chilling. I mean, they're just letting me come right up to them. Oops, give me a second here. My selfie stick has this wireless remote, so if I want to take selfie pictures, it has a battery and it works via Bluetooth. And it just popped out of its little holster. I hardly use it. But it's there. I've used it before and it works pretty cool. This selfie stick I have, and I have two backups. It's made by a company called Eocene. I think it's EAOCEAN or something like that. You get them on Amazon. And I think they're like $15. They used to be a little cheaper, but inflation, right? And they're metal. They work really well. You can use it as a selfie stick or as a tripod. The only thing I don't like is the piece that holds the phone that screws to the top is plastic. And I've had issues with those things wearing down quickly. So I ended up buying, I mentioned this a few weeks back when I made this change. I ended up buying the piece that holds the phone from a company that makes an all metal cell phone holder. I think it's like aluminum or metal or something. It's very strong. They're $15 a piece. I bought two of them. You know, you always want to have a backup, even though metal typically won't break. You never know, it could rust or whatever. But these selfie sticks, they work very well. Now, I know a lot of people have told me in the past you should get a gimbal and do this and that. Nah, I'm not really big on the gimbal, and you know, I'm not here to, you know, create overly fancy videos while I'm live. Plus, the gimbal moves around, and I need something that can hold my screen stationary so I can check it out. Hey, babe. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally. How you doing? Were you sleeping, babe, or what were you up to? How you doing? It's great to see you here. Great show earlier, by the way, on Coach Eli too. I'm probably going to stay on the air right now if you're going to stick around for a little bit, because I've got another maybe 20 minutes left on this walk. I'm heading back. I'm halfway back to the exit. Yeah, what have you been doing, babe? What's up? No, laundry and cleaning. So let me ask you something, babe. What has motivated you to do a bunch of cleaning around your place, some deep cleaning and stuff? I'm just kind of wondering, what all of a sudden came over you or zapped you to do that? I'm not saying you weren't clean before. I know you like to be clean. But what happened? I'm just curious. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You've tremendously turned your life around over the last 9 or 10 months since I've known you. And yeah, maybe I was part of the motivation or inspiration. Having a good guy in your life will do that, but I'm not taking the credit. You still had to do the work. And you've done the work, and you're still doing the work, and I'm really freaking proud of you. And by the way, babe, I got some things to share with you privately behind the scenes later tonight. It's nothing that, you know, I couldn't mention here, but we'll just talk about it on our own. Leave something for our conversation tonight. Since my lady's around, I'll stay on a little bit longer. If anybody would like me to do any certain topics, if you have any topic suggestions, and they are topics that I feel would benefit my entire audience. Or if you have a story that you'd like to share and get my help with or advice with or on, you can email me at Coach Eli at coacheli@eliasmelas.com. That's Coach Eli at coacheli@eliasmelas.com. The email's below in the description. Whew. I'm definitely feeling ready for a nap. Had a hard time sleeping last night. I was tossing and turning, and I had to be up early, like at 7 in the morning, to be at my appointment for my oil change and tire rotation at 8:15. So I'm a little bit tired, but I'll be just fine. And babe, I'm gonna go home and eat after this, and then we can talk briefly afterwards. And I'm probably gonna take another Epsom salt bath tonight and be ready for tomorrow. I really look forward to getting away this weekend. Folks, I'm also, looking to interview people and work with people that are into personal development, or if you offer a product or service that you feel would be good for my audience, I would love to interview you. I'm looking to interview professional people that are well-mannered, that dress well, that speak well, that are well-spoken. You don't have to be perfect, but have good manners, right? Have a good head and heart. If you would like to be interviewed on my channel, you can email me also at coacheli at coacheli@eliasmelas.com, or look me up on social media. Facebook is the best way to look me up. If you have Facebook, that's the best way to do it, because I can actually verify you're a real person, because real people have a lot of friends, and you could tell legit accounts on Facebook from fake ones. So if you want to reach out to me on Facebook and communicate with me that way, even on Facebook Messenger, just go to facebook.com/Elias Melas 73. Facebook.com/ELIAS, M as in Mary, ELAS as in Sam, 73. Or just look up Elias, ELIAS, Dimitri, DIMITRI, Melas, MELAS. Elias Dimitri Melas. I've got over 4,000 friends. I've been posting a lot about my business. You can tell that it's my profile. There are some fake profiles out there of me. I've tried to take them down. Facebook won't take them down. They used to take down those types of things. Now it's like, I flag those profiles for impersonation, and they're not taken down. Yeah, I just heard something move in the grass. That was a what do you call it? A squirrel. There are a lot of little tiny squirrels all over the place. We got 5 people here. Don't be afraid to engage. Don't be afraid to chat and ask questions in the chat. Another thing, folks, in case you are new here, you haven't been around for a while, my channels are a drama-free zone. There's no hate allowed here. No trolling, no attacking. Constructive criticism is acceptable. It's actually what I would like. So if you're new here, just know that I have 3 simple rules. No trolling, no hating, no attacking. You have your freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say, as long as you say it in respectful, mature, and professional ways. And you come at it from a constructive manner. If you don't come into my chat in a constructive manner, and you're trolling, hating, or attacking, you will be removed immediately. And if Nightbot doesn't get you, I will, or my moderators will. And it's been real interesting. I'll talk about this very briefly here for the last part of the show while I get to the last part of the trail. You know, my lady and some other people have been complaining lately that Nightbot's timing out people inappropriately. And I'm going to come out and publicly say here today that Nightbot has not been timing out people inappropriately. The people that Nightbot has been timing out are trolls that have been trying to bypass my spam filter or say things on my blocked words list or spamming, and Nightbot is timing them out. And I'm letting my moderators know. Unless you are 100% certain that someone is legitimate, anyone besides people that you're certain are 100% legitimate, if Nightbot times them out, just go ahead and ban them. Because if they're using a blocked word, that means they're trolling and they're trying to talk shit and stir up the pot. And I want none of that. Nightbot's done a great job. I've personally programmed Nightbot in the exact same ways on Coach Eli, Elias Melas, my main channel here, and also on Coach Eli 2 on censored live streams. And then if you get people complaining on why they got timed out, and they get really harsh about it, it's because they're trying to bypass the filter to talk shit. And it's just not going to happen. You know, I've gotten to the point, folks, I'll say this as we walk out of the trail here, the last part of the trail. I've got to the point of where I'm immune to drama. I'm immune to trolling. I'm immune to people talking shit. I'm at the point where I'm mentioning this because I want you folks to get to this point too, and I want my lady and other people to understand. Like, I've gotten to the point of where, like, trolling doesn't bother me. I won't even respond to trolls. I just ban them quietly, right? And no, to you trolls out there that continue to troll, you're not getting me. You're not upsetting me. You're clearly wasting your time. Why don't you go play with other people that are easier to knock down than myself? Or is it a challenge to try to knock me down? Right? And you know what the funny thing is, babe? These guys, they're all guys. Women don't do this kind of shit, right? You know, these guys, you know how pathetic they are, babe? And you and I know about this. You and I are so good, babe, and I'm so strong, and you're strong for a lady, and we're so secure in our relationship that these people can talk all the shit they want, right? Like, you know, these guys will attack you to get to me. What a beta bitch move that is, right? That's the biggest bitch move, guys. To attack another man's woman because you can't get to him, right? So you're trying to trigger me by saying things about my woman that are not true. And you're hoping that you're going to trigger me and get a response from me, right? You ain't going to get shit from me, ever. It's pathetic, right? It's pathetic. Good people on the trail. Everybody's really nice out here, I'll tell you that. I love where I live. People are so nice out here. They're very friendly. But any trail I've been to, it doesn't matter what city, what area it's been in. Every trail I go to, people are so nice. Because people, like I've said this before, I'll say it again. People that work out, those endorphins kick in. They're typically in better shape. They take better care of themselves, and they have better attitudes. People on the trails are very pleasant people. But getting back to what I was saying. The one thing that has always cracked me up, right? And I used to let it get to me initially, but it doesn't get to me anymore. It hasn't gotten to me in a while, right? Is these guys talking trash about my woman or any woman I've been with, right? You see, first, they talk trash about me, right? They come about myself, my family, and other aspects, right? My money, everything else, right? And then when they no longer can get to me and they've exhausted all that, now, because I've had my woman come on my other channel, Coach Eli, too, for a couple months, and she's shared some things, behind the scenes that made their way public. People are trash talking her, right, to try to upset me. And quite frankly, she's very proud of everything she said and done, and so am I. And it doesn't affect us. So, if I'm going to even, throw out a question to the trolls, because I got a little time to kill right now. So I'll give you a little time, just a few minutes, all right? My question is, if you're not getting anything out of trolling me, why do you keep doing it? I don't care that you do it. We'll just ban you. Either Nightbot or myself or my lady or one of my other mods will ban you. But if you're not getting what you want from trolling me, why do you keep doing it? Are you obsessed? I mean, seriously, there have been some other creators that know me that have done videos calling people out saying, these people are obsessed with Eli. I mean, I don't understand what the obsession is. I don't get it. He doesn't get it. I certainly don't get it. But ironically, the people that are obsessed with me are right-winged extremist Caucasian men from the Midwest and the South. And I think it has to do with my political party views, right? And it has to do with my belief system and my beliefs, right? I think that's the reason why these people are obsessed, because my beliefs are the complete opposite of theirs, right? I don't attack their beliefs. I share my opinions, but I don't attack them or their beliefs. If I so happen to mention something, without mentioning their names, it doesn't involve them directly. If I so happen to mention something that is a part of their belief system, they get triggered even if I'm talking about it in general, right? And that's pretty pathetic, because with me, I don't even get triggered when people come at me, right? I don't even get triggered anymore when people come at me directly, let alone indirectly. Oh, I know Eli was talking about me without mentioning my name. No, I wasn't. I share examples. The several people that I've encountered in the past, you folks aren't the only right-wing extremists I know. There are lots of you. There are millions of you. It's a general statement, right? But that's what people do when they try to get attention and they have no other content. They intentionally insert themselves, coming at you because you're their entertainment. You're their form of entertainment, right? It's pretty pathetic, right? So they can't get to me. They try to get to my family. They try to get to everything, right? They're trying to get to my woman. They can't get to her, right? So the whole thing is like, we just want to run our shit, right? We want nothing to do with these people, right? But if it's not, or if you guys are not getting the results you want from your trolling, why do you keep doing it? And don't come at me and say, well, you're talking about us now. No, I'm sharing an example. I have a little time to kill. I was going to kill the show, but my lady came on, and I wanted to throw in some filler content, right? I mean, you guys must literally have nothing better to do. Folks, all right, folks, I'm back. Got cut off, but I'm back. Thank you, babe, for taking care of that. There's some spam bot that's been hitting my channel. I've been banning it. They've been coming in from several different accounts. It's not a big deal. We just keep banning it. I'll permanently take care of the issue with those spots later tonight. Nightbot has a great spam setting for shit like that. But yeah, if you guys aren't getting anything out of it, then what's the point, right? You're that bored. Somebody left something here. This is like some type of charging pod or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch it. Anyway, folks, get your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're gonna be going off the air in less than 5 minutes. I really love coming out here for my walks. Ever since I switched my place from Red Morton Park to here, it's been better in many ways. I stayed on the air the entire way. I was gonna cut this short halfway through on the way back. Beautiful out here. I just love it in the sun. Again, I may do 1 or 2 quick streams tomorrow. Probably get up early and maybe do something on Coach Eli too, babe. I'm going to do that one without you because you're going to be getting ready. And I'll probably only do like a hour show on Coach Eli too. And then I may even do a walk after that. Because it won't take me too long to prepare for our getaway. And my place is pretty clean already, so I don't have to do really any excessive cleaning. And we're not going to be staying at my place anyway, so it's all good in the hood. Oh, the wind's pushing me. Beautiful. All right, guys and gals. Hope you learned something new today. Things aren't as bad as they appear to be. If you budget yourself, you can make it through any time or any era, inflation or not, higher gas prices or not, etc. So I'm gonna go off the air one last time to reset the chat, see if we have any new messages, and then we'll be calling it a night. Be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live 1 hour and 21 minutes. Not bad. 3.5 miles in an hour and 21 minutes with a selfie stick and a stop to use the restroom. That's not bad at all. Have yourselves a great night, and more than likely you will see at least 1, maybe 2 pieces of content from me tomorrow. One here possibly on this channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, and the other one on my other channel, Coach Eli 2, Uncensored Live Streams. Have a great night. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.